Hey guys, so today I'm going to be bringing you a video a little bit different from what I've done already, but something that I did promise in the beginning, and that is a film-based video. So I'm a massive film fanatic, absolutely love films, everything from Disney, which is a whole other world for me, and from Harry Potter, which is also a whole nother love of mine, and then all the way into like art cinema and things like Lars von Trier and, you know, I have a lot of range. I've got 5, but they are my like current 5 favourite films. It's not like a be all and end all list. 2 of them are like my all-time favourite films, like I love them so much. I just have so many favourite films, like everything is my favourite. I'm like a really happy dog, like all the time, like oh my god it's my favourite, oh my god it's my favourite. Honestly, that's the sort of person I am. So my second point is that, as I mentioned a minute ago, I'm obsessed with Disney and Harry Potter. So none of these films are Disney and Harry Potter, because for me that has to be its whole other separate ranking system. So without further ado, let's get started! So we're going to go from 5 to 1, because I think that, you know, I'm going to build some suspense. Try and talk about them pretty concisely, but I mean I can't promise anything because it's me and I will ramble. Number 5 is The Grand Budapest Hotel. Now, this film is by Wes Anderson. It came out pretty recently. It came out, 1 minute, I have notes. It came out in 2014, so it's nearly 2 years old. But it was still getting recognition for a really long time afterwards, as I remember. So yeah, again, it's directed by Wes Anderson. It stars Ralph Fiennes. It's got Bill Murray, Willem Dafoe, Tilda Swinton, Jude Law's in it, Harvey Keitel's in it. Like the main cast is like all on this cover, and the fact that there's that many like main cast members is like insane anyway. So basically the film outlines the sort of adventures I guess you could say of M. Gustav, who's like a legendary concierge in this fictional Grand Budapest Hotel in this fictional place in Eastern Europe during the sort of start of a war. That makes it sound a lot heavier than it is. It is funny, it's darkly funny, it's weird, it's Wes Anderson. Like, you can't really describe it any other way than saying, oh, it's Wes Anderson. Like, it's just a Wes Anderson film. Definitely got his very distinct style on it. It's got the whole very similar like cinematography that he uses and everything, so it's like this sort of like straight pan across that I think is really similar to, like, not similar, that's really distinctive of his work. And like every single shot could sort of be a still. Ralph Fiennes is like the big selling point on it. Like, he's so good in it. If you don't sort of understand Wes Anderson's films and watch his films, it's kind of, I don't know, it's so hard to describe a Wes Anderson film. Like, why did I put this in here? I just want everyone to watch it and love it, but I also don't want people to watch it and not love it, because that would make me sad, because it makes me sad when people don't love what I love. Yeah, I'm that person. So, Grand Budapest Hotel, go watch it. Number 2 is Only Lovers Left Alive, and the director of this is Jim Jarmusch, I want to say. I think that's how you pronounce it. It came out in 2013, again quite a recent one, and it's a vampire film essentially, but it's none of this Twilight business. Like, I've never watched Twilight, I never will. Not into it, not doing it, don't appreciate it. This is like a whole different thing. It's like the fact that they're vampires isn't even an issue. It's like, I don't know, it's super odd. Anyway, it stars very few people, but the 4 sort of main characters that are in it are Tilda Swinton, Tom Hiddleston is in it, Mia Wasikowska and John Hurt. I'm just considering that every film that I'm mentioning has got someone that was in Harry Potter in. Maybe number 1 and 2 don't, but certainly the next one does. So basically it's about Adam and Eve. We aren't actually told if it's the Adam and Eve, but they are called Adam and Eve, and they're in love, and they've been in love for centuries and centuries and centuries, and they live in different parts of the world, but their love sort of endures all. It's just a very dark, again, hard to describe film. I think the best way to describe this film is delicious. Like, it's darkly delicious. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. It's darkly delicious. He's a depressed musician and he sort of decided that this world has become this awful place, and he's lived in it for centuries, obviously, because he's a vampire and whatever. Then Tilda Swinton comes to like live back with her sister, who is Mia Wasikowska, comes back into the picture and kind of disrupts their little like perfect bubble that they live in. So many like cultural references, and that's kind of what makes it a little bit funny. Like, it's definitely not a comedy, like don't watch this if you're after a comedy, but it's darkly comedic in that it'll make like weird references from all the way from like Mozart and like classical painters and things like that, and like how he was friends with Byron and stuff, and then it'll be like talking about the White Stripes. It's really weird, but it's really cleverly done, and I absolutely love this film. I think that the soundtrack also really helps to make it. It's got this kind of Far Eastern feel, but it's like underground as well. Like, it kind of sums up their characters super duper well. And it's just an amazing film. Like, it's beautiful to watch. It's beautifully made, it's beautifully shot, it's beautifully edited, and I actually really enjoy the story. So if you're into kind of dark, slightly artsy films, then I would go for it, because it's super great. On to number 3, and that would be The Perks of Being a Wallflower. When you look at the last two and the next two, this is total curveball, but I absolutely love this film. It makes me sob, it makes me happy, it makes me jealous, it makes me like whole spectrum of emotion. Like, it's ridiculous. Ezra Miller in this, who plays Patrick, who's here, is just like, Logan Lerman is obviously the main character, and his story is also epic and it's amazing, and like Emma Watson's in it and she's amazing, and like everyone's just amazing. It was directed by Stephen, no, I can't say his name, I think it's Chbosky. That's how you spell it, so that's how I'm gonna say it. And he also wrote the screenplay, and he wrote the original book that it is adapted from. I really don't want to call it a coming of age story, because it's not. It is a high school story, it's a high school film. It's when he's, like, Logan Lerman is starting high school, but it's not typical of that genre whatsoever. Struggles with mental health, struggles with sexuality. It feels a little bit hipster. I don't want to use that word hipster. I feel hipster, but as in like, this is gonna sound so hipster. Why am I saying hipster so often? It seems like it's a hipster film, but from before hipsters were hipster. It feels like it's a film from the mid-90s, but they've got this mentality of kids from the 70s and 60s. I just really want everyone to go and watch it. Neat and touching coming of age story. Okay, I didn't want to describe it as a coming of age story. Perks of Being a Wallflower is a moving tale of love, loss, fear and hope, and the unforgettable friends that help us through life. Yeah, okay, I can go with that. I always come out of it having cried an awful lot, but feeling a bit more like, right, let's get on with it, let's do something with my life. It spurs me on to do just that, if that makes sense. This is getting a bit deep. I'm going to put this down now. So, we are now on to number 2. We are nearly at the end. Number 2 and number 1 are kind of, they don't fit into that current all-time favourite films. They are my all-time favourite films, and I don't see anything changing this anytime soon. Number 2 is Pulp Fiction. Who saw that one coming? So it's directed by Quentin Tarantino. It came out in 1994, so I was 1. Woohoo! Everyone knows it stars John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Tim Roth, Uma Thurman, like Bruce Willis, like, oh god, it's just everybody. This is my favourite, absolute favourite Quentin Tarantino cameo. Got 2 mob men and a boxer, who is Bruce Willis's character, and a gangster's wife, who's Uma Thurman's character, and then these 2 diner bandits who are like thieves, and that sort of 4 stories come together. The story is like epic. It's Quentin's best film in my personal opinion, and I love every single film that Quentin Tarantino has ever even been associated with. I've never met anyone that didn't enjoy it, because I think it kind of, it's just an amazing film, and it's a classic, and you can't really go wrong with it. This way, really, to describe Pulp Fiction is that it's epic. Yeah. Fiction. Alright, so we are finally at number 1. Went on a bit long, didn't it? Just adore this film. It made me fall in love with the main actor in it. Like, the story is amazing, the direction is amazing, everybody that's in it, the way it's shot, the storyline, like, I've probably mentioned that already, and that film is American Beauty. It's just everything that I want in a film. Like, I think I've written something down, I might just have to read it because I don't even think I can improvise on how much I love it. In 1999, and it was Sam Mendes who directed it. Kevin Spacey, for me, is my absolute favourite actor of all time, and that started with it. Maybe it didn't start with it, but it solidified it. Gives the best performance of any actor I've ever watched in anything in this film. Like, it makes you realise just how epic of an actor he is. Now, I love Seven and Usual Suspect and American Beauty, obviously, and all the way to, like, is it the Santa Claus that he's in or something like that, that Christmas film, but I still love him in that. Like, oh, he's just bae, man. Like, the film was about this man's midlife crisis, and he becomes obsessed with his daughter's best friend, and then it sort of brings in the stories of the daughter and what she's going through, what the wife's going through, what the neighbour's going through, what the girl that he's fallen in love with is going through. Benning, she's from The Kids Are Alright as well, and in that she blows my mind. And then Thora Birch, who plays the daughter in this, she was in a film called The Hole, which I absolutely loved when I was a teenager. Look closer at 40-something ad man Lester Burnham and his status-seeking wife Carolyn as their marriage and lives slowly unravel. Lester's wife hates him, his daughter Jane regards him with contempt, and his boss is positioning him for the axe. Look closer as Lester decides to make a few life changes. The freer he gets, the happier he gets. But Lester is about to learn that the ultimate freedom comes at the ultimate price. Look closer at an acclaimed cast led by the brilliant performances from Kevin Spacey as Lester and Annette Bening as Carolyn. Look closer at a flat-out masterpiece. Yeah, damn right. Damn right! It's won 5 Oscars, including Best Picture the year it was out, and 6 BAFTAs, including Best Film. Like, I mean, come on. Just go and watch it, please. It says the best film of the year. The best film of ever. Okay guys, so that about wraps up my top 5 favourite films of the moment. I'm thinking this probably took a lot longer than I thought it was going to because I like to ramble. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you want to see any more films about videos about films and things like that, then give me a thumbs up. If you want to see this makeup look again, give me a thumbs up, write in the comments, just help me out, tell me what you want to see and I will get onto it. Thanks so much for watching guys, see you next time.